Do you remember playing the original Seven Knights game with your friends? The reason I ask isn't because I'm curious, it's because that is the first line in the game introduction of the Google Play Store. Welcome to Seven Knights Rebirth, a game that will fill you with the same thrill and emotions, featuring a refined turn-based battle system, a bold visual RPG with the signature vibrance of the Seven Knights. You can experience diverse cinematics from the Seven Knights hero story, and you can play for free and farm rubies to get opportunities to summon, and in their words, daily excitement. This is Seven Knights Rebirth. Is the game worth playing? Is it good? Does it suck? Let's go ahead and discuss. Seven Knights Rebirth just launched, and I want to point out immediately the obnoxious, repetitious notifications at the top right of the screen are abso-fucking-lutely, obscenely irritating. I don't know if you could turn that off anywhere. I haven't really looked. This is a very vibrant game. You can tell that upon immediate inspection. There's so much going on. The characters are adorable. A lot of them are interestingly anthropomorphic characters. You have cat girls, fox girls, bunny girls. There's honestly an immense amount of beauty present in this game. The vast majority of it, of course, takes place in the adventure screen. There are multiple different chapters. At present, I see 14. There are 14 chapters as of the release of the game. I've cleared up partially through 3. Honestly, I probably could have played a lot more than I have been. I've been playing this as a side game. Each chapter has 20 different missions. If you successfully 3-star every chapter, you'll end up with 60 stars by the end, and you can redeem it for all of the rewards that are associated with it: coins, summons, rubies, etc. After selecting the mission, you select up to 6 characters. After clearing 3-5, which is actually this mission right here, you gain access to your 6th character slot. Up until then, you have 5 different character slots. There are both the adventure team and the ruby farming team. The adventure team is the main team that you use to continue the story with. There are formations. Every formation has their own unique benefits, their strengths, their weaknesses. They also boost both the back and front row differently, increasing attack, increasing defense. There are strategies that you can utilize. There is the skill queue, which allows for you to queue certain skills in succession. You can set the game to repeat automatically after each mission, or you can set it to automatically queue the next mission. The battles are pretty easy. They're pretty basic. I have auto skills, I have short skills, I have simple mode enabled, and I have the entire game autoing. This is a turn-based game. You can see over on the left of the screen that there are various different icons denoting who is going to go next. There's a blonde elf, then there's a brown samurai, then there's a little lolly character, then there was a little kobold, and then honestly, oh my god, I just unlocked so much. All the pet stuff. I'd forgotten that was even a feature, but I guess now I'm going to have to take a quick look at it. Now that I finished 3-5, I can place down a 6th character. Apparently, I could only place down this thing. I guess that's a pet. The combat looks great. It's beautiful. It's vibrant. The animations are good. I have short skills enabled, which means that you don't get the entire skill effect and animation because it's just a lot. I mean, the voice acting is just so freaking funny, man. Every time. That's the combat, or that is at the very least the story. Then there is the Infinite Tower. This is an endless game mode. You just queue. You attempt to clear the various different waves of monsters, which are honestly, like this game mode features exactly as every infinite, endless tower mode that is present in every other gacha game. For whatever reason, this seems to be an ever-present feature because, I mean, like, instead of crafting new content, you could just, hey, make a tower that recycles the same enemies over and over while just buffing their levels and buffing their statistics, right? It's easier than actually crafting new content. This is a boss fight. Every 10 levels, by the way, in the main story, there is a boss fight that you engage in as well. And that's it. This right here is the Infinite Tower. It's really that basic, that simple, just like all of them are. Then there is the power-up dungeon. The power-up dungeon allows you to engage a mushroom that's very interestingly designed. Very varied, actually, I think, in terms of design. Each one gives you upgrade materials. So I actually have 2 dark characters, so I've been needing the lesser darkness particles to actually upgrade them. The boss monsters give you higher tier items the further you progress through it. So leveling your characters, and then upgrading them, utilizing these will ultimately allow for you to level them further and upgrade them further. It's just a cycle that you're going to continue to go through until you hit end game with max characters. You can also farm gold, but I haven't really yet because there's absolutely no need to. Unfortunately, to actually do the material grinding, you do need to utilize Pookie tokens, which are essentially sweep tickets, which allow for you to continue to do them every single day. Unfortunately, there is no quick sweep. You can't just like, you click enter and then you have to play through the entire thing. There's no skip. You can't just click it and then be done with it, which is that's really irritating and frustrating. I see this little glowing Stargate thing in the background and a volcano as well. I've not unlocked either of those. Evidently, they might be something, or they might just be there for purely for aesthetic, along with the floating Greek statue over there at the center. Concerning characters, interestingly enough, you level them all the way to 30, and then at 30, you have to power them up by enhancing them. Enhancing them uses the other characters or kind of like material monsters that have a % to successfully upgrade them. I have my character upgraded to 6-star right now. She was a 4-star initially, and then I have her at +1. This takes a really, really long time and requires an immense amount of farming, but I mean, that's part of the game, so that's totally understandable. You can rank up your characters as well. This is where you utilize the materials that you grind, that you farm for. This allows you to continue to essentially upgrade them, and that's essentially the leveling upgrade system. You can fuse characters together. You can transcend characters, which is essentially utilizing dupes. You can enhance the skills of characters. You can enhance the ultimate of the each respective character as well. Every character has their own unique costumes. Like, she has no helmet. This is her with a completely different model altogether. Here's her in a bikini. That's fucking awesome. And a lot of characters have, honestly, a lot of varied outfits, which is really cool. And they also have, interestingly enough, their own illustrations, which just look so much better, so overwhelmingly better than the actual characters themselves. Here, let me show you exactly what I mean by this. If you go to the hero codex over here and then sort by 6-star characters, let me show you. And then you go ahead here and click the illustration. You could see stuff like this. Look how absolutely incredible she looks. And then she just kind of looks okay in game. Then we have, let's locate another girl over here. I know you're looking at the guys and you're like, wow, that's a lot of dudes in armor. So she looks very average. And you see her here and she's a big titty beauty. And you're like, what? And she has thick ass thighs. You have her who just kind of looks like an average character. Then you see her here and you're like, what? How does she look so good? And then you go, let's check another character, her, right? Relatively flat, basic looking nun. And then you look at her here and you're like, what? Those bazongas are the size of her head, dude. And then she's wearing like fishnet stockings and armor, leg pieces, and it's just incredible looking. Then her model here just looks, you know, the complete opposite. Very basic, very average. The illustrations are just unbefreaking-leavable. You can also place down your characters here and talk to them. I haven't really engaged any of that because, I don't know, I hate talking to my characters. I genuinely do. Apparently, we have the new pet system. I really don't know much about it. You can power them up, you can fuse them, enhance them, and rank them up. So I guess in much the same way as the characters. And then they also have a codex for pets as well. They do not have illustrations though, which honestly makes sense because you can't sell sexy characters in the form of pets. Well, you probably could. You know what? I bet Azure Premilia could, honestly. You can also upgrade your equipment. Everything's set to +6. I was told that +9, going to +9 has quite a reasonable chance of breaking the gear. So I would never advise going above 6 unless you have some way of guaranteeing it or you're feeling really lucky. Speaking of, since I guess I didn't mention this, your characters also have gear slots. So a sword, a shield, or sorry, a weapon, armor, and a ring or accessory of type. Characters also have unique individual elements along with unique individual class types. So example, she's darkness, she's water, she's fire. Each character also has her own class. So she's a mage, she's a melee, she's actually a healer. The gacha I do not like. When you begin the gacha, you're given a free 4-star character, I believe, after 2 10 pulls. And you're essentially given a free 2 10 pulls, like right off the bat. Now, the gacha itself, the rates are not great. It's actually super depressing to see. But beyond that, you are guaranteed a character here, specifically in the normal standard summon. After 100 pulls, you're guaranteed a character. This is just the general banner, unrelated to limited characters. The limited characters, however, there is a greater chance of getting the rate up hero in a legendary summon. Summoning 100 times guarantees a legendary hero, not the legendary rate up hero. Summoning 200 times guarantees the rate up hero. You need 200 pulls. There is a 50-50 present, and the pity is 100. For reference, Wuthering Waves is at 80 and 160 for the full pity. Genshin is at 90 and 180 for full pity. So if you thought Genshin Impact was obscenely predatory and unfree-to-play friendly, then welcome to 7 Nights Rebirth. Now, I have had people argue, but Stix, it's not actually that difficult to get all the characters in the game. That's fine. That's fine. And I've also heard people argue, but Stix, you don't really need dupes to be powerful. That's fine too. Sure. But 200 pity is something you cannot defend. Anyone that genuinely defends 200 pity deserves a game that offers them 200 pity. Now, with regards to the pet summons, the rates are 0.1% for the 4 stars. So, I mean, you know, make of that what you will. Let's talk the shop. If you navigate on over to the daily Ruby support for 28 days, you will see over to the right, there is a 1,700% value available. That's phenomenal. I would definitely take advantage of that. You can go to the special tab as well. There are lots of great options there. The limited time packs, these are 700% value, which means normally they are significantly more expensive. So that's definitely worth taking advantage of. There's the daily shop. Honestly, that's not bad at all. There's the Ruby shop, which is also honestly not bad. The exchange shop. There's the general shop. I don't see any store here that presents you the option of purchasing duplicate characters, so it's kind of a shame. There are events going on. The expedition event, which is the growth expedition, where you get pulls, you get stamina, you get currency from just completing various different objectives in the game. The same thing applies for the Ruby farming expedition, which we'll touch on in just a second. There is the battle pass. There are the various different events that are going for launch, the welcome check-in, the power-up event, growth event, point mission event, equipment removal discount, daily check-in, etc., etc. The Ruby farming is actually interesting because it allows for you to actually grind rubies. When you get characters to level 30, you can farm while AFK, while not present. You just click repeat adventure battle. You then select various different characters. So here I have 4 different monsters along with my hot elf, and once they hit level 30, you can recycle them, but you can also farm the rubies as well to make things easier to obtain. This is all doable completely offline, which is actually easily the best part of it. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead here and do let's just do 25, so you have a little bit of stamina left, and then your characters just deploy. That's it. You can minimize this and just go do other stuff while it's happening. And by other stuff, I mean you can't continue with the story or do anything like that, but what you can do is go AFK and do something else. You can play another game and come back later, or close the game because it continues to go while you're offline. There's also a dressing room over here, which shows you the
will of the heavens.
the individual. Well, you can't see the illustrations, which is actually the most depressing thing. But the men and the women all look absolutely incredible. Honestly, there are so many outfits available at release, which is actually crazy. And that right there is 7 Nights Rebirth. Now, let's go ahead here and break down my rating. Content, 4 out of 10. There is a decent amount of things to do. You can do the story, you can do the power-up dungeons, the infinite tower, and likely more that I have yet to unlock. Difficulty, 6 out of 10. While it's definitely relatively auto, the difficulty spikes up very quickly. You'll be cheesing it out of nowhere. Bam! The boss just one-shots you out of nowhere. Free-to-play friendliness, I mean, this should be evident what I'm going to say, but 1 out of 10. I don't care what people say. 200 pity is terrible. It is genuinely terrible. It doesn't matter if the dupes aren't worthwhile. You should not need to wait till 200 to get the limited character guaranteed. Gameplay, 5 out of 10. Honestly, it was pretty decent. The abilities, the character movement, the diversity. Graphics, 6 out of 10. This would be higher if the in-game models looked more like their illustrations. Like, legit, the illustrations were fucking gorgeous. And the graphics all around were as well. But the in-game models are definitely the least appealing of everything on display. Sound, 4 out of 10. Honestly, your generic fantasy soundtrack. Story, 5 out of 10. It was okay. Nothing great, but really not bad either. It kind of reminded me of Mongol Star Dive, but without that fun humor. Voice acting, 6 out of 10. Actually, the voice acting was surprisingly decent. I had no complaints at all. I streamed the English dub, and honestly, I laughed for quite a bit of it. Not because the English dub was like incredibly well voice acted, but because it was just amusing. It was very amusing, and in some instances, higher quality than I thought it was going to be because the actors had more feeling than I thought they were going to have. World, 5 out of 10. It was bright, it was vibrant, it was lively, but it was also very largely copy-pasted in terms of the level design. There were a lot of lore, instances of lore and character backstories and everything due to the intellectual property that this is a part of. Fun, 5 out of 10. I had fun. I really did. Despite it being a Netmarble game, I had fun. It's not a great game, but at the same time, it is a perfectly fine side game. It reminded me kind of Eversoul, but less free-to-play friendly. Overall, though, I would give this 47 hot waifus out of 100, or 4.7 out of 10. It was a decent game to play through, and I have no real complaints outside of the 200 pity, because fuck that, dude. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.